What does it do from a spectator standpoint, from an esports standpoint, as a viewer watching this compared to what they're used to with other games?
So we've done a couple of really critical things from a spectating perspective. One of them is we put a lot of information in the map itself so that players don't need to memorize really important parts, or spectators for that matter, of the game. For example, the ranges of static defensive structures like towers are built into the map itself so you can easily see them. The lock timers for spirit wells and respawn timers for various creatures in the game is built into the map, allowing spectators to really understand when certain objectives will become critical for players to take control of. And we've created the game to create spikes in player activity that are really exciting from a spectating perspective. So for example, like I mentioned previously, the spirit wells are the economy objective in the game. They're really designed to create PvP conflicts that are exciting from a spectating perspective. So what you'll have is you'll have a really high impact event that occurs, so there'll be some tension, players are sort of standing off, and then one player can sneak around and make a really big impact on the game, and from a spectating perspective, that's super exciting. It creates a moment of really high intensity changes where the game can suddenly flip momentum, and one team that was winning can suddenly be losing and vice versa. And from a spectating perspective, it's all about creating those engagements that are fun to watch.
What are your plans in terms of tournaments or leagues or that esports side of things?
So we're really waiting for it to emerge kind of from our community, and then we want to support it as it does. So our community is already running tournaments, they're putting up their own cash prizes, they're really looking to support the esports scene, and they've been asking us at Waystone to help them. So we're rising to that call. We're building casting mode, which is our first introduction into the esport feature set. It'll be a scenario where you can go into a custom game, create a tournament series, and have all the tools necessary to be able to cast that as a shoutcaster. And then following that'll launch probably in about a month in early fall. And then following that, we're looking to expand on that with greater versatility in terms of spectating features and all other tournament support.
What does having an Electronic Arts behind you mean from an esports perspective?
I mean, EA is a huge name in the industry. It's an incredibly valuable publisher relationship with us. They give us the flexibility to really deploy worldwide. Here at Gamescom, we just released our alpha version of our EU servers, and if we're going to have a esports presence, it needs to be global. Esports is a global phenomenon, and Electronic Arts gives us the freedom to explore other territories and really help bridge ourselves into that global phenomenon.
We've seen a lot of MOBAs enter since League of Legends, and they weren't even the first ones, but what is it, do you feel, that has allowed those guys to stay so far ahead of everyone else in esports?
I think that MOBAs are one of the best esport games out there for a couple of reasons. One is that they're team-based. You have a lot of very clear elements that are analogous to physical sports. You have players who play specific positions on the team, right? You have your equivalent of the goalie and the forward and the mid, which is a really natural kind of translation to what people already expect to be a very competitive, natural event. So that's one thing that lends itself very well to the MOBA space. And the other is just the story of the game, the narrative of the game. It lends itself very well to be a competitive event. You have individuals making high impact plays that are extremely exciting from a spectator perspective. It's very, very skill based, and it's also very accessible, and that's critical. Just like with a real sport, you could go out and you can have a pickup game of football with your friends. But with MOBA, it's very similar. You can just grab your friends and play a very fun experience, but the depth is incredible. You have an opportunity to really excel at an unbelievably high level, and both of those things are required for a great esport: accessibility and a very high skill cap.